Hi, I'm Felicity from Felicity Duke Sewing, and today I'm back with you to make another wreath. This time we're going to be using polystyrene balls and scraps of material. If you would like to make this wreath, then please have a look in the description and it will tell you everything you need to make it. So let's get cracking on my next wreath. Now for this I am using a layer cake. Now I know that you, if you're a patchworker, you will be very familiar with this type of thing. This is what I'm going to use to make the wreath and also some other things. Right, so we need some polystyrene balls. Now you will need between 36 and 40 of these polystyrene balls. Don't buy them in the little packs. These came from eBay, all right? So you need 40 centimetre polystyrene balls, and I think these were something like $5.99 for 50, and you need 40. So, and also we need just a few 30mm. I think I'm using about 9 of them, 9 or 10 30mm. So you don't need many of those. Right, so we obviously need a hot glue gun, plenty of glue sticks, and hope I don't run out like I did on the last one I did. You will need some tape, and you will need tape about 4 meters. Now you don't have to use tape, you can just use rags, and I'll show you what that's for in just a moment. So you need about 4 meters of anything, some strips of rag or some tape or anything you've got. Right, so that's that. You will need a 12-inch metal wreath ring. All right, cheap as chips they are. So you will also need something to draw around for. I mean, if I need circles, I just go around the house trying to find what I need in a cup or a jar or something. So here we are. This is 5.5 inches, and this one we need for the few smaller ones 4.5. So yes, got my name in that one. Look. Okay, so that's that. And I'm now going to open this. Now you don't have to use layer cakes. They are quite expensive, but the reason I like them is because I don't have to think too much. I've got hundreds of scraps upstairs of Christmas fabric I could use, but I'm not lazy. I just prefer to use these because these are, these are all different. I'll show you. Let me just cut it apart. And I'll show you, just in case you haven't seen one of these before. As I say, they are quite expensive, but I like them because everything is coordinated. I don't have to think too much about it. So here, let's see if I can push you down a bit. Okay, so I'll show you some of them that are on here, and this one is, what's that one called? Holiday Lodge, this is called. So can you see everything is coordinated? So they're reds and blacks and creamy colours and greens, lovely greens there. Oh, let's see if we can move that out of the way. Lovely green colours, some stags. You won't see the bigger patterns so much because it's all just one lot of colour really. So yeah, so you can either do that, or you can either buy one of these or just use what you've got. So I'm now going to cut, let's get you straight. I'm now going to cut because I think we will need around about 36 balls. So I'm now going to cut circles for these boards. I'm going to cut 36 and a few 10 of the smaller circle. So this is how I've worked out the layer cake pieces. So I've managed to cut 2 of the larger rings, which are 5.5 in diameter, and also the smaller one, which is 5.5 the big one and 4.5 for the smaller ones, but just for now we need 40, so I'm going to use 20 sheets of this, which will give me the 4 rings to cover my bigger polystyrene balls. Okay, and here I've divided the bottom here, that should measure about 5.5 inches, I think. 5.5 inches, let's just check that. Yeah, about 5.5 inches. So I'm going to crack on and get everything cut out that I need. Now, don't forget, if you don't want to use layer cakes, or you know you've got plenty of bits at home, then obviously do that, but I'm just going to prep all my pieces and I'll be back. So here we are. I thought I'd just show you the layer cakes before I get cut in. So here they are. So I've got 20 different ones here that I'm going to use to make the wreath. And if I didn't already say it, I'm sorry, you need strips that are 5.5 inches by 1 inch long strips, and obviously the circles that I told you about. I'd now like to explain to you why we need the tape. Alright, now these rings I've used a lot, but I have to say they break, and also they're very sharp and really quite dangerous. It's just like a razor blade along there. So we don't need it along the outside, the tape on the outer ring, because we're going to tie around here. All right. The other reason, not just because it's so sharp, that isn't the only reason I do it. The other reason I do it is because the glue, the hot glue, will adhere better to fabric than it does the metal. All right, it will stick easier. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start winding round. Now I have about 5 meters here of this tape, something like that. So I'm going to put a blob of glue on just to hold it there, so that I can start winding it properly. Right, so I've got a bit of glue there. Now I've got these pieces of tape, I've got them in pieces. I've not kept it in a long line. And what you need to do is you need to wind round and round and round. Okay, I know it might seem like a real faff, but believe me, it's better, because when you're using the hot glue gun on metal, they tend to come off. So we're going to come right the way round on the inside one, not the outside, because the outside will be covered in the strips of fabric. So we're going to go round and round, and you also need to go up the piece that's in between the 2 rows here. All right, we need to go up there. So I'm going to crack on with this. So when I've got to the top here, I go round over there and cover up the sharp piece of metal above there. So then back down and carry on around. I've now cut all the strips and placed them in the order in which I want to tie them onto the wreath wire. I've also cut the circles out, all the circles that I need for the larger polystyrene balls, but right now we just need to work with these. So taking one strip, fold it over, and make sure always, if you remember, to always put the ragged end here and not the folded end underneath the wire. See if I can, underneath the wire, then come through the loop and make sure that the outside of the fabric is showing, because obviously with this type of fabric we don't it's not on both sides. So, and you're going to come around and take all these in order and keep on folding in half, tuck it under, take it through the loop and make sure you've got the outside showing. Okay, now do this right the way round. Wreath I've covered now. You need to put them right the way round the outside, the strips, fold them over, and just a few here and a couple on each of these pieces that join together. So here, all right, that's it for that piece. So we put that down, and now we've got to cover all these balls. Now it depends what you prefer. I prefer to sew by hand and watch the television. All right, so if you prefer that way, then you need some strong thread, some very strong thread. And the thing is, with doing it this way, just gathering around the whole circle, keep your needle in your hand and just keep on going in and out with it. The thing is, with doing it this way, you can do this on your own. But if you gather around the edge on the sewing machine, I'm afraid I can't do that on my own. I would need my husband here, you know, to put his finger on the top while I pull the threads really tight. And then it's not a very strong thread on the machine, and you pull it and it snaps. And so I'm quite happy to sit here for a couple of nights, not here, but in the living room, and watch the television and get on with it. But I'll show you how I do this. Let me just go in and out here. I don't know what the weather's like where you are, but in the UK, where I am at the moment, it is freezing. I'm so cold. The heater's up high, but still get very cold. I'll have to get my husband to turn the heating up, I think. Right, so I've gone right the way around, in and out, and I'll show you how I do it to make sure that it's nice and tight. And also, don't forget, please do it on the right side, the gathering. Don't do it on the wrong side, do it on the right side, and then you'll be okay for when you pull it up. Right, so I'm just pulling it up like so. And there's a little ball. Let's get the ball in it. Put it up. Now, when you start this hand sewing it, if that's what you decide to do, when you start, tie a knot in it and go over it a few times, because you've really got to pull this quite tight. Now, let me show you what I do. I get the thread here. All right, pull it tight. Put your finger on it so it doesn't go anywhere. Go over to the other side here, over to the other side, pull it, go back over the side where you started, pull it. Okay, so I've pulled it like this, and then over to there, into there, just to make sure, over to there, over to the other side, and then that's not going to go anywhere. All right, I hope you understand. Pull it tight, go from here over to there, and then go off to the side and then go over to there. And by this time, it's not going to go anywhere. So all you've got to do is a few stitches to secure it. That's what I do anyway. If you want to do it on the machine, of course you can do it, but I've tried it on the machine, and although you go round, obviously around the circles a lot quicker, it's a bit of a pain to tie it in, you know, to tie the knot on it. So there you go, that's what you want. So I'm going to get on and cover all 40 balls that I've got. Okay, so here I am back with all my balls covered. If you want to know how long it takes, I watched The Grinch, Miracle on 34th Street and Jingle All the Way. So however long they are, those films, that's how long it took me. Also, I've discovered I didn't need 40, I needed 35. And also I took the size of the circles down. All right, so in the description below, I will put all the information which is up to date. Sometimes, as I've said, when I'm making things, sometimes things change. You have to look at it and think, is that right? And if the answer's no, you have to change it. So here I am with all my balls. Can you see them? They're all beautiful. I've also found some lovely, these are all lovely colours. I can't remember where I got them from, but balls, I will probably add them. I also found some cones upstairs with some red glitter in. They may go in as well, you never know. I'm just going to plug my hot glue gun in, and I will then show you what you have to do. I like to put all my balls in order so that you can work out your colour scheme, because I don't like two blacks together or two reds together, so you need to sort out first of all how you want them placed, and then I glue the actual frame and not the ball, because you must hit the frame at the right place in order to stick them down properly. Right, so with this then. The next row is a little bit more tricky because you have to glue the inner circle to the ones on the outer circle. All right, and the reason for that is that you are going to try and cover up the band that you can see through. So I'll just show you how to do this. So I'm going to put a blob of glue onto here, the two from the first row. Make sure it's up the right way and then push them together. I don't know if you could see that terribly well, so let's try another one further down. Hold it there for a minute just to make sure it's glued nice and tight. Yeah, that feels fine. Right, okay, so I wonder which way around I can show you. Let's have a, oh, now I've got all my balls out the wrong way. Okay, so this one has to go here, okay? So it's got to get wedged either onto that one or onto both of them. No, it'll only hit that one there, so we're going to put a blob of glue there. Put a good bit of glue on and then we know it'll stick. And then just press that into there. Hold it for a little while. Stuck on there fine. Okay, I'm now going to carry it well. I'm going to sort out the my order again. I'm now going to add the smaller balls that I covered to the top just to give it another dimension. And so, and some of, you'll find that some places have got more of a gap, so I think that's a good idea. I'm just generally doing them quite random. I'm not measuring to make sure it's exact. distance apart because I think it doesn't look a bit too contrived when we do that. So I'm just going to stick all those on, and then I'm going to find somewhere to pop the pom-poms as well. So here we are. This is the finished wreath. Isn't it lovely? I'm really happy with it. It looks very Christmassy, doesn't it? I've added a nice long ribbon down here. I tried several things like a big bow and, you know, other things, but in the end I felt the ribbon hanging down was all it needed. Now I've also added the pom-poms. Just add, if you build it up so that it's like got more dimension to it, just put the smaller ones, glue the smaller ones to the bigger ones up higher, and I have put the little pom-poms on. And I tell you what else I did. I showed you the cones, didn't I? Where have I put them? Let's have a look. Right, there's cones all the way around. Now when I opened the packet, they were all tiny cones, which was a bit irritating really, but then I realised that probably that's all I needed was the tiny cones. Right, so that is all from me for today. I will be back with you very soon, and I will be sharing my very original pattern to make what I call my Tim Burton-esque Christmas trees. So stay tuned, and I will be back very soon with a tutorial to make these trees. Thank you for watching.